Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Sanger, and this is my PE2 presentation. So, starting off, we have some five key takeaways from 1.1 and some five recommendations on what to do about those takeaways. So, Boyle Heights has a great lack of vegetation. This is something I'm very interested in incorporating in my site. I don't get into this anymore in this part of the studio, but I would really like to push for that in the future. And then it's a very industrial. It's connected close to downtown. There's a high unemployment rate, and the neighborhood can be easily gentrified. So these are all things that, keeping in mind, I'm looking at trying to design to combat these issues. Then here on the right, we have a chart of the demographics of Los Angeles. As we can see, the Latino population is by far the most, followed by the white population, and then Asian and Pacific Islander, Black, mixed and other, and Native American are all much lower. So the Latino population, the white population is majority, and specifically in the neighborhood of Boyle Heights, it is majority Latino as well, less whites. So here on the left, we can see a couple of options for households, and these are characters that I created based on the demographics and then looking at what they would need. So on the right, we can see household one that has a married couple. So they would need one bedroom, a bathroom that would also be able to be used by their guests, and then living room, dining area, washer, dryer, kitchen, sort of a studio style, but more of a single bed, I suppose. Then moving on, we have three brothers here. So they each need their own bedroom, and then there's two bathrooms. So two of the brothers can share a bathroom. Um, Everything else is the same. Then household three and four is a parent with their child, and the parent would have their own bedroom with a master bathroom connected, and then the child would use a bathroom that would act as a guest bathroom as well. And then here we have four people who would live together. So we have four bedrooms and two bathrooms. And then here on the right, we have a bit of a diagram. It's a bit more of a vertical diagram showing the loading dock, which would then horizontally connect to the public market. And then above the public market would be common area and amenities. And then above all of that would be the housing units in the building. And on the bottom left of this diagram, excuse me, is a market, a public market in Osaka Station. So I visited Japan this summer and I was there at this market. And this is something I would really like to use to directly model the public market that I have in mind for my design. So moving on here are on the left is some options that we came up with for where the site to go. And then on the right is some sunlight exposure, noise, and sun diagram. There's a plan view on the left, and then here on the right is some more configurations that we're looking at. Then on the left, we got some more site diagrams. On the right, another configuration that we're checking out, and then here that we were checking out. I'm sorry. And then on the left, we have some more surrounding context. Right, we have some more surrounding context. Left, we got sun, a little bit of vegetation, as well as existing wall art. Then here's where I start to get into my own personal designs. So here on the left, I have iterations of my initial three ideas, and then I've landed on one fourth final idea. And here on the right, we have a rendered view of that, and then three floor plans of the bottom, middle, and top sections of this building. And so a sort of centralized circulation, vertical circulation, but this doesn't allow for much sunlight or cross ventilation. The units would have to be very wide, and that's something that I would kind of want to get away from. So in this iteration, we're seeing a large centralized courtyard, which is possibly a bit too large. It doesn't leave too much space for housing units, and the circulation is very spread apart in that way. And then here's the third and final initial iteration, which has this long sliver here on the left that can be seen, which would be situated between an existing building called the Matador, which was historically a warehouse and luchador wrestling arena, which me and my roommates have decided to keep on the site. And with this, we would be able to keep the entire half of the building towards my side of the site, which I like, and I would like to keep that design aspect there. And you can see here on the left, it does fit there fairly nicely. And then here on the right, we have a circulation diagram for the first, second, and third iterations. They're essentially all the same circulation from the street through the parking lot that exists, which would rest underneath the the raised column section on the third iteration, which is modeled there in the sketch model, which would just be the part that's not cardboard at the bottom of the model is where the parking lot is. And here we have a bit of a site section going on, cutting through part of my proposed building design, as well as the Matador and the Hicks-Clag cookware warehouse that is adjacent, which can be seen in this image on the right, connected. Then here's a plan view. So we're seeing essentially the third iteration, but with a chunk taken out of it. And that is something that is sort of a design aspect that I took from both my first and second iterations and kind of put into this third one. I wanted to add a bit more sunlight, a bit more cross ventilation, as well as we just did not need that much room in that floor above there. It also made it structurally questionable to have all of that mass there since it is cantilevering over the road. And then here on the right, I have a traced overlay of the Las Americas building in Leon, Mexico. And this plan view is showing two centralized courtyards, housing along the outer wall for egress and light and ventilation. And then a shared workspace. Part of this that really intrigued me was the walkway, the circulation does face outwards in this central part here. And that's something I'd like to explore. I like to explore some open air walkways, some open air areas in this building. Since it is located in Los Angeles, the weather is mild enough for this, and that's something I would really like to dive into. And then there are step roofs, different roof levels. I am also interested in to sort of have a walkout onto the roof and put maybe a pool or an outdoor gym or some sort of amenities up there that the residents would be able to really take advantage of and have that facing downtown to create some nice views of downtown. And here on the right, we have some diagrams and drawings from the Kanai Blade residence in Yokohama, Tokyo, Japan. And this residence was designed with environmental impact in mind in terms of the sun would heat up the building in the summer and would not necessarily cool down in the winter, but it wouldn't be beneficial in that way. And so then they've created vertical and horizontal slants. So the horizontal slants allow for the higher sun angle in the summer to be blocked. So that would keep the building cooler. And then when it goes down, it can get in the window and it helps heat up the building in the wintertime. And this is something I'm also very interested in. I learned about this some in my undergraduate degree, and I'd like to incorporate some design aspects of this into my design as well. And then here's an image of this building in Yokohama. As you can see to the left, it's not mirroring the terrace or the balconies. This is a code in Japan that must be followed, and it does have the same terraces, but it's encased in that shell that is the facade. And so that was sort of a way to get around the code and create a more unique looking building. And so from both of these presidents, I believe I'll be able to push this design to a place that will go beyond just providing what is necessary for residents of Boyle Heights. Thank you very much.